Hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be learning how to make this jumbo pants. Do stick around. To make this pants, we're going to be making use of 2 yards of fabric, either Ankara print fabric or any fabric of choice, but 2 yards will be enough. But if you want something very big, you can do 3 to 4 yards. So I already drew some lines. I have my starting line and I'm just placing my tape 2 inches above that line because we'll be using that 2 inches for our band that will be attaching to the waistline. For the waistline, I came down by 9 inches for my hip line. Then to get my crouch, I divided my hip measurement by 4 and I added 1.5 inch for ease. So that is the other line you're seeing there. From the starting line, I'm going to take my length measurement, the length of this trouser, and I added my allowance to it. So that is the last line you're seeing. So let's get into the tutorial. So for my hip line, I used my hip measurement divided by 4. So since we're going to be attaching elastic to this pant, we're going to be using our hip measurement all through. So for the hip line, I divided my hip measurement by 4 and I added 3 inches extra allowance to it. So that is what I imputed on the hip line, on the crouch line, and I'm going to do the same thing for the waistline. If you want this pant to be very big, you can add more than 3 inches after dividing your hip measurement. I hope you get what I'm saying. So I added it to the waistline, the hip line, and the crouch line. And I'll just connect that with a straight line. The next thing I'm going to do now is on my crouch line, I'm going to divide my hip measurement, which I already divided by 4. I'm still going to divide it by 4 again, and whatever it is I get, I'll be adding it to that crouch line. So divide your hip measurement by 4. I had 10.5, so that 10.5, divide it again by 4. So that is what you're going to add before getting your crouch curve. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now what I have for my crouch measurement, I'm going to impute it on the bottom part of this trouser, but I'll be taking away 1.5 inch from that measurement. So you can take away 1 inch or 1.5 or 2 inches depending on how wide you want the bottom part of this pant to be. So I'll take that same measurement and I'll remove 1.5 inch from it. Now I'll connect from the crouch line to the length of this trouser as shown. Now after connecting, I'm going to come down from the waistline by 1/2 inch. I'm just going to make a mark at that, and I will use my ruler to make a slanted line to the waistline. The next thing we're going to do now is to cut out this pant. So now I placed my front piece on top of the remaining part of this fabric, and I have some spaces at the front allowances that we're going to be adding, and also the top part of this trouser. For the top part, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Then for the crouch line, I'm going to be adding 2 inches to it. For the hip line and the waistline, I will be adding 1.5 inch allowance. For the rest of the pants, I'll be adding 2 inches extra allowance to it. So I'm just going to slant that 1 inch we added to the waistline. I'm just going to slant it to the other part of the waist. And we're going to be cutting this out. I'm just going to use my pins to hold the crouch line in place. We'll be taking this to our sewing machine and we'll be sewing with 1/2 inch. After sewing the front and the back part, we're going to spread this open, right sides facing each other, and we're going to be closing the sides of this pant. After closing the sides of this pant, we're going to be taking the bottom part of it and we'll be folding with the allowance we added earlier while drafting. I'm using my pins to hold this crotch line in place. You're going to hold them in place, and we'll be sewing the crotch line all the way to the legs, the bottom part of the pants, after folding the down. Now this is what we have. I went ahead to give this a good press so it is nice and neat. Now this is what the pant is looking like. So for the waistline, I'm going to take my round waist measurement. That is what I have on the pant. We're going to be taking it round, and that is what we'll be using to cut out our band. So after taking the measurement, what I have is 15 inches, and we're going to be using that to cut out the length of the band. For the width of the band, this is going to be 4 inches. And when it is on fold, that is 2 inches. I will also be using this 1-inch elastic waistband. You can use 2 inches, that of 2 inches, if that is what you prefer. So I'm going to open this pant, and I'll be adding this elastic to the waistline. So I'm going to close up the band this way. I'll hold it down with my pin, and we're going to be attaching it to the waistline. I'll also leave 1-inch opening to pass my elastic. I'm so sorry, guys. I never knew my camera stopped recording while I was passing the elastic. So I'm just going to distribute the elastic evenly on the waistline, and I'll be stitching the elastic down so it will be secure, and I'll also close the 1-inch space I left so I can pass my elastic through. If you watch this video up to this point, do give this video a thumbs up, please. Leave your comment in the comment section, and if you have any question, also leave it in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe before leaving, and also tell me if you'll be recreating this pants. Tell me if the tutorial was easy and what you think about this video. I will be seeing you in my next one. Do have a nice day.